Do you have the more button at the bottom?
I got it. We're on.
Marvelous. Well, thank you everyone for joining us for this Wednesday webinar on November 28th. This is Glenda Robichaux, and with me is Julie Gromitz. And we are going to be talking to you today about Spikenard.
What a fun and interesting oil this is.
It's kind of just fun to say.
Spikenard. So our agenda today, we are going to start off with the tail end of our November promotions. As Glenda said, we'll be talking about Spikenard today, and we'll finish off with our upcoming events.
So today and tomorrow and Friday, it's not too late to take part in getting 10% off the Digestion soft gels. I've certainly noticed personally that since the holiday season has begun, my eating habits have shifted a little bit to things that I don't normally indulge in. And my digestive system is talking to me, so I'm very grateful for Digestion. So the soft gels are just the Digestion oil blend in an easy to use capsule, just all ready for you to go, just to pop in like you would take a pill. And you can get 10% off those until Friday.
And if you have someone special in your world that you've been sharing essential oils with, that's maybe really commented or interested in the wonderful benefits that you've been receiving from your own essential oils, doTERRA is giving the gift this holiday month with any new enrollment, any new wellness advocate or wholesale customer that enrolls with 100 PV order. So any of our enrollment kits would qualify for that. Any enrollment with 100 PV order before the end of the month, both you and your new member will get 50 free product points in your back office, in your doTERRA point bank. As of, I believe it's December 15th is when those points will show up. But it's such a fantastic way to not only give your friends and family, your loved ones, this amazing gift that we have in these beautiful essential oils, but also a great time to get some free product points out of it too.
And now today we will shift to our product spotlight, which is Spikenard.
So Spikenard is it's a really earthy, really interesting aroma. I'm going to have you, if you have a bottle of Spikenard in your possession, I'm going to have you start off by dropping a small drop into the palms of your hand. I'll have you rub your hands together. You know what's interesting, Glenda? As I'm doing this, I'm dropping this oil into my hand, I've noticed the darkness of it. It's got kind of a dark green or dark blue color to it. Rubbing your hands together, cupping them over your nose and mouth, and taking a nice deep inhale.
It just always amazes me when we do this, Julie, because I'm just going to be upfront. This is not an oil I'm drawn to very often. But this morning, I don't know what it is about putting it, you know, sometimes I think just smelling it out of the bottle, it's completely different when you actually put it in your palms and rub your palms together and breathe it in.
I agree.
Wow. But it does have kind of a woody, spicy, earthy aroma to it.
Yeah, this is not one that straight out of the bottle intrigues me a whole lot to be rubbing all over my body, but it is really lovely once you get it out of the bottle and let it breathe a little bit. So Spikenard comes from the roots of a plant, and these actually grow really high in the mountains. So I believe they grow in China, in Nepal, in the Himalayas. So this is a really beautiful oil that, because it's distilled from the roots, it has a really, really grounding nature to it. One of the things that I love to do is look at how the plants present themselves in nature and what part of the plant we get our essential oil from. And so one of the things that you can expect out of any of our root oils is the beautiful, deepening, grounding nature to them.
Mm-hmm.
Also has a lovely uplifting aroma, and it's very, very purifying to the skin. This one can be used topically and aromatically. And this one is also gentle enough on the skin. If you don't want to use a carrier oil, it is fairly safe to use neat with no dilution. So one of the essential oil tips here is to add 1 or 2 drops to your favorite cleanser or anti-aging product to promote healthy, glowing skin.
And some uses that we wanted to share with you today for Spikenard is that it's a great one to diffuse when you might need some assistance in just calming the mind, or maybe just calming down and taking a moment. Again, like we just did, putting a drop of spikenard in your palm and, rubbing your palms together and just taking a moment to inhale and breathe that in can also bring over a calming sensation to the body. This would be a great one for a warm bath to just help you relax again. Something that I forgot to add to this slide is this is also a great one to use for meditation. It'll really help you to kind of bring about that calmness to the mind, that relaxation, to just really get deep into your meditation practice. And a friend of ours mentioned that her son is using spikenard and placing a drop on the crown of his head prior to his meditation practice. So that's something else that you can try. You can also use this for a restful night's sleep and apply a few drops of spikenard to your feet or temples. Or again, putting it in a diffuser in your bedroom at nighttime. And also when you're feeling stressed, this would be a great one to just add with a little bit of fractionated coconut oil and massage into your temples and forehead. And also great for a relaxing scalp massage or to add to your conditioner.
What I found so fascinating about spikenard when I was reading about it is the amazing different chemistry that is involved in spikenard. So oftentimes there will be, a strong alcohol or a strong sesquiterpene, a strong ester perhaps, but spikenard has 170 different compounds to it. Isn't that fascinating? And more than 95% of the different compounds are less than 1% of the chemical makeup. Wow. So it's one of the most complex essential oils that we have. One of the things that they told us at convention was, we've all heard the when in doubt, use frankincense. Right? If you don't know what to use, grab your bottle of frankincense. And they said because of the amazing, the amazing chemistry of this oil, it can be used in a similar fashion. So if you don't know what to use, grab your spikenard.
Something else that's kind of interesting, if you think about frankincense, it's been around for quite some time. And so has spikenard. And traditionally, it was used to anoint people of high honor. It's been valued for centuries. And in ancient times, spikenard was associated with wellness, sacredness, and spiritual healing. I thought that was kind of cool.
I saw somewhere also that it's the flower of the spikenard has been used in drawings, in depictions of the Pope, in depictions of, I believe it was Homer in the Iliad. They have a reference to it. So it it's really fascinating when you start diving deep into the history of some of these oils. And it really just reassures me in this whole fact that this is not some newfangled fad.
Yeah. Yes. And you know what's even more fascinating is if you think about the qualities of spikenard and frankincense and their unique chemistry and the fact that they have been around for centuries. Like, there is something to that plant that has made it sustainable for such a long period of time. I find that fascinating.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
That plant's diving deep.
Yes.
So, shall we talk a little bit about the sourcing of spikenard?
Oh, that would be awesome.
Aren't these ladies beautiful? All right, so we've got a fantastic little short video clip for you guys to watch on the sourcing of spikenard.
Our wintergreen sourcing initiatives have been taking place in certain parts of the country where wintergreen thrives and grows naturally, and we're able to partner with the communities in these areas to help bring long-term jobs through sourcing wintergreen through them. The exciting thing about spikenard is that it is being produced and harvested in areas completely separate and isolated from these wintergreen areas. By sourcing these different oils from Nepal that grow and thrive in these different regions, we're able to expand our impact and expand our footprint throughout Nepal to bring real sustainable development and long-lasting jobs in these very rural areas that badly need it.
पानी पर्दाखेरि त चिप्लिन्छ भिरमा अनि तलबाट चढेर त हिँड्न सक्छ फेरि तल माथिबाट चाहिँ झर्नलाई त एकदम गाह्रो हुन्छ जस्तो कन्टेन आधिक महिना पैसा पाउने चिज माया लाग्छ है अब सर्न मन लाग्छ
So it is wild crafted. And as they dig up the root from the ground, they need to make sure that they put at least 10% of the root back in the ground so that root will grow a new plant each and every year. The exciting thing is we are working with the Nepali people now to cultivate this plant, which means we get to create even more jobs and get to teach them about how to make sure that spikenard continues to grow and flourish in their country.
गर्नुपर्छ त्यहाँ नसक्ने समाधान सघाउनुपर्छ लाभप्रद हुन्छ आफ्नै कामको मान्छे हुन्छ
Our co-impact sourcing initiative for spikenard will bring new added value to the industry there to better organize themselves, and by having a direct buyer who is invested in their well-being and invested in their success, we will be able to help stimulate further expansion and growth of these forms of cooperatives, but also exploring the possibility of planting these spikenard plants for their roots, which has never been done before.
A lot of people are very familiar with spikenard and all of its wonderful uses, but our spikenard is very, very different. One of the things that I love about spikenard is the diversity of its chemistry. Over 90% of that chemistry exists on an average of less than 1%, which makes spikenard diverse in terms of the outcomes that it can have for us. Very penetrating and calming and soothing to the body in many different ways.
It's a source from the Northeast region, in an area that is the poorest in the entire country. And we're so excited to bring this essential oil to fruition, to bring this to the world, so that you can not only benefit from this beautiful essential oil, but we also give back to the Nepali people. They are so excited for what the future holds, because this is going to create hundreds and thousands of new jobs. And this is how we help the Nepali people.
Love.
I love those videos.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Do you know that it took their filming crew 5 days on foot to hike up to that area. They could not get their equipment. Their equipment couldn't get up there vehicle-wise. I think it said it took them 5 days to get up there.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? Could you imagine? I mean, what a completely different lifestyle than we are so used to here.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of feeling grateful for what we have, did we miss the emotional slide?
No, I think it's after the diffuser blends.
Ah, you're right. So a couple different ways that you can get spikenard into your world is diffusing. You know, we talked about putting it into your face cream and using it on the top of your head for your meditation practices. But some of the easiest ways to use essential oils, especially for their emotional component, is popping it into a diffuser. So diffusing essential oils can be a really, really great way to get the oils into your limbic part of your brain, which is where our emotions are housed. But it's also a fantastic way to promote a mood in the room and to cut out other toxic chemicals in your world. Oftentimes, especially this time of year, I think that people tend to burn candles when company is coming over. But I'm going to encourage you guys this holiday season to toss those candles away, toss them aside, and break out your diffuser. There are so many amazing different diffuser blends that you can utilize, and here are some with spikenard. So spikenard and wild orange with juniper is really, really lovely. I was diffusing this one just the other day. Spiritual well-being is lavender, frankincense, spikenard, and myrrh. So that does sound like it's straight out of the Bible, doesn't it?
It totally does.
They have all 4 of those featured in the Bible: lavender, spikenard, frankincense, and myrrh. Yum. And then we've got a couple more here, and I'll go ahead and post these on the Facebook page so you can have easy access to them when you're wanting to try out your spikenard. What I've got going in my diffuser today is the Dreary Day blend because it's feeling a little dreary out there. Spikenard, lemon, and peppermint. And it is highly invigorating and yet calming at the same time. Dreamland, cedarwood, sandalwood, and spikenard. That sounds really, really divine.
Very grounding.
Very grounding. And then somber, bergamot, neroli, jasmine, and spikenard. And here's just a little side note. So neroli and jasmine come to us through doTERRA in a roller bottle. So one thing you can do if you're wanting to use some of your roller bottle blends in your diffuser is they do sell little pipettes, which are like little miniature plastic eyedroppers, and you can totally use that inside of your roller bottle. Or one thing I have done, because I enjoy using some of these oils on my massage clients and don't want to use the roller bottle with them, is I will actually pour them into a little 5 ml bottle so that I have easy dropping access right out of that little 5 ml bottle. So it's really fantastic for your diffusers as well.
On to the emotional aspect of spikenard. And the reason that Julie and I decided to talk about spikenard in this last week in November is because it is the oil of gratitude. And with Thanksgiving being last week, this is just a really great month to take some time and be grateful for what you have in your life. You know, I went to a networking meeting this morning and the heat was not working. And I found myself as I was driving home, trying to warm up from sitting in this cold room for an hour and a half, being so grateful that I have heat in my car, I have heat in my home. And it made me stop and really think about a lot of people that are probably don't have, they're out in the cold right now. So taking a moment just to find that gratitude for whatever it is in your life. And I would just like to read a little bit from our favorite book, Emotions and Essential Oils. Spikenard encourages true appreciation for life. It addresses patterns of ingratitude where individuals see themselves as targets of bad luck or victims in their life circumstances. This perception can often lead to feelings of blame and anger. Spikenard encourages the soul to surrender and accept life exactly as it is. It invites individuals to let go and find an appreciation for all of life's experiences. By opening the soul to acceptance and gratitude, Spikenard assists individuals in seeing the deeper meaning in their lives. It supports them in feeling joy and happiness for other people as well as for themselves. It invites individuals to expand by fully letting go of resistance, anger, and blame. Gratitude is an expression of complete acceptance and abundance. A grateful person is content with what they have. Spikenard teaches individuals to be grateful for their challenges as well as their blessings. It also assists individuals in transcending their sorrows through being grateful for their present life circumstances. Through complete surrender and acceptance, the soul may be brought into peace and harmony. And some really great places too, if you wanted to use this oil for emotional reasons, would obviously be to diffuse it or inhale it, from your palms. But also if you wanted to use it topically, using it on your wrists, your forehead, or over your solar plexus, which is one of your chakras, and it's just slightly above your belly button. So applying it there. And then I always invite people to, when they're really trying to address emotional concerns with essential oils, is to pair it with an affirmation. So maybe applying the oil topically and saying, I am grateful for fill in the blank.
So I'm trying to find a way to wrap my brain around how can we get this on every single teenager on the planet. You think we can get a big enough vat to put into the high schools?
We might have to call doTERRA on that one, but it could be done.
Wow, what an amazing emotional oil.
Yeah, there's so much, I think in our society today, there's so much victim mentality too, and pointing the blame at someone else. And really, there's so many things to be grateful for. So many. So I hope that we inspire you to take some moments today to either journal what you're grateful for, or just have some meditation time and be in gratitude. I know that it's something I try to either first thing in the morning or right before I go to bed, write at least 3 to 5 things that I'm grateful for that day. And I really notice a shift when I get in that pattern of how I have just a more positive outlook on life. And when I fall out of that practice, how I tend to see things spiral the other way. So just a little something to think about and maybe to try incorporating into your daily routine, especially being in the holiday season. I think it's very easy to get wrapped up in all the things that aren't happening or just things that are get you going all crazy. So take some time for yourself and just to be in gratitude.
Mm-hmm. I love listening to you talk about emotional oils, Glenda.
Oh, it's really, I think that's my sweet spot. I've really been thinking a lot about that over the last month, and I think that is why I'm so drawn. I love working with people and helping them kind of get unstuck.
Mm-hmm. Well, to wrap up our webinar from Spikenard, I am really just grateful for you, Miss Glenda. I'm grateful for this community that we have. And I'm grateful for these webinars that help us to dive deeper and really appreciate these oils a little bit more every time that we do one of these.
I'm grateful for you too, my dear. And all of our loyal listeners, thank you.
Thank you for sure. So next week, speaking of loyal listeners, we're going to take a deep dive into clove oil. So we've got all kinds of fun things to talk about next week with clove, and I think it is the perfect little oil for this upcoming holiday season, or I suppose present holiday season that we're in. Speaking of holiday seasons, so doTERRA had some amazing holiday items that came out on November 1st. We have such a culture that is just in love with our products that half of them are gone.
But we want to show you what's still left. Ta-da!
So holiday joy and holiday peace are two amazing diffuser blends. These are just two really, really beautiful blends that have been put together specifically for this holiday season. Holiday Joy is spicy and citrusy. It's very uplifting. It smells like grandma's cookies. And then Holiday Peace smells like you're walking through a Christmas tree farm. You know, that lovely blend of different pines and firs. That's what this Holiday Peace smells like. So I love to put this blend on a couple of different clay ornaments around my fake Christmas tree. It helps me to feel a little bit more Christmassy, a little bit more realistic. And then the beautiful blend is something that was released at convention as a gala blend a couple years ago, was released at Christmas time last year. They had such a huge call for it that not only did they bring it back for this Christmas season, but they actually put it in our new body mist. So if you are in love with the beautiful blend, grab your roller now, because it will not last. Everything on this page is limited time only, except that beautiful body mist. That's going to stick around. And then last year they came out with these beautiful bamboo double drawer boxes for you to store your essential oils in. This is a fantastic gift for any of your essential oil lovers in your world. I absolutely loved mine until it hit the floor. And I'm gonna get myself a new one. But it is absolutely beautiful. And then this signature aroma with monogram clutch. You know what, Glenda? I am surprised that this one's still around. This is what I was looking for.
And I actually just smelled the Radiant blend last week, and it's really kind of cool. It's a little spicy and just, it's quite nice. And the Dream blend is incredible. That one smells amazing.
Absolutely incredible. Yeah, I had to get 2 of them just to make sure I had more Dream in my world. And then I'm super surprised that this elephant diffuser is still around. I think with the popularity of last year's little whale diffuser, they overstocked on this guy. He is beautiful. He is so much fun, great for any kid's room, or if you're a kid at heart. The diffused air, so the little steam that you'll see, comes out his trunk. And then on the back of his head is actually some little cutouts that produce like a little bit of a light show on your ceiling. And then the buttons on front allow you to either just diffuse, or diffuse with a lullaby, or diffuse with a couple different varieties of white noise. So I put my daughter to bed every night with her little wail. Like I said, last year they had a wail. Her little wail goes on with her lavender and rosemary, I think is what is in there currently. Lavender and rosemary for her. And she gets little ocean sounds that she goes to sleep with every night. So,
oh,
yeah, it's just a great way for you to share a little love, a little oily love with your kids. And, you know, there's nothing like lavender in the diffuser at bedtime. And
doTERRA offers Empowered Life Series webinars every month. And In the month of December, they are going to be talking about cooking with essential oils. You can register and join them live on December 5th and 6th. They've got a bunch of different time slots. Otherwise, these are all recorded and available a little bit later in the month at doterra.com. So November's webinar series has been posted out there. If you go to doterra.com and hover over advocates at the top bar there will be a little drop down that says Empowered Life. And if you go click there, you will get a kind of library of the archives of past webinars that they've done and the ability to register for December's.
So we've got all kinds of fantastic things online that you can participate in if you are an online type of person. Otherwise, if you are here local, we are connecting locally as well. So online, we've got our webinar for next week is Clove. And here in the community in the Minneapolis, Twin Cities area, we've got speed oiling happening Saturday, December 1st at the Armitage Community Center. Tuesday, December 4th in the evening is a beginner's essential oil class, and that's held at the Hero Community Room on Diamond Lake Road and Nicolette. There's a holiday make and take Sunday, December 8th in Apple Valley at Needles and Herbs. Another Beginners for Oils class on Tuesday the 11th. And then our team night, we're doing a fun little holiday party on December 18th. It's a Tuesday night at the Lennox Community Center. So I hope you guys can join us for some or all of our events here. All of our upcoming events can be found at oilerswithamission.com, as well as the, I believe that's where we have a link to our past videos still are out there. It's just a great little resource for you guys to go on to and find out what's going on and have everything up to date. We do try to keep things up to date on Facebook as well, but not everybody is Facebook happy. So I'm glad that you are this morning Facebook Live-in with us, Facebook happy. I look forward to Facebook Live-in with you next week for our Clove video and joining us in person for some of these great upcoming events. Anyway, thank you all. We are so grateful to have you joining us for these webinars and grateful to have you in our world.
Have a wonderful week, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us, Mom.
I don't know how to stop this.
Oh. Do you have the little bar at the bottom?